it makes it kind of special.
Well, also, I think what makes it special is the fact that it seems to be like the last, kind of like one of the last of intelligent shows that are being made, you know, where they don't underestimate the audience. I don't know if you're aware of this, but there's something called second screen viewing, right? So it's a directive that's being handed out by big studios to filmmakers.
Please, this sounds like what I'm really hoping it isn't.
It is exactly what you probably think it is.
This is something that stands up to...
Which means that you have to acknowledge that people are on their phones the whole time they're watching telly. So you have to simplify the plot so that they'll be able to follow along while they're browsing on their phone. So that's why you'll notice now in random, like in TV shows, even with good actors, they're saying really obvious things about what's happening. They're laying out the entire plot line and all of their emotions and motivations. Like the language has become really bait and on the nose. And that's because they're being told, the writers, that they have to write in a way that someone can carry on with doom scrolling or shopping online while following it in the background. So nothing can be too complex, nothing can be too high end. It has to be like we are purposefully dumbing down content, and that is leading to a less nuanced, less interesting, less thoughtful society.
What's up, Guardians? What you just heard was an excerpt from the Romesh Ranganathan Show, which airs Monday and Thursday on YouTube. In this clip, actress Jameela Jamil, best known for her role on the sitcom The Good Place, talks about media companies dumbing down their content for second screen viewing. In this episode, Wally and I discuss this push from media executives to require writers to develop simple, less complex scripts to keep a distracted audience somewhat engaged. Thank you guys for listening this week. Here's our discussion on second screen viewing.
Welcome in, everybody, to another episode of the Old Guard, the only podcast hosted by OGs dedicated to preserving the sanctity of geek culture. This is your boy, Wally Analog, and I'm joined, of course, by the keeper of civility and order, Rose.
Yes, sir.
It's in the building. So, as you may have heard at the top of this thing, there's an interesting phenomenon happening that I was completely unaware was happening. So we're going to talk about that today. Second screen viewing. So let's deconstruct that a little bit. Rose, very interesting concept, right?
Right.
And here I thought, and I'm sure this is the case in a lot of instances, but here I thought that writers and writing was just bad.
Right.
Not in certain situations by design. That's not what I expected. I thought that if your dialogue sounded like a 9-year-old wrote it, or if your plot line was just ridiculous and Barnum and Bailey-ish, just circus clown mess, that you just don't have a good grasp on writing. Now, that may be the case for sure.
Right.
But in many instances, it may not be. It may be coming down from the higher ups. So we're going to talk about it, man, because, you know, Rose, we have no shortage of conversations on or offline regarding the importance of good story versus action and when to turn your brain off and when to do this and when to do that. But this is a different kind of phenomenon. This is willful dumbing down in order to accommodate one's ability to not have to pay attention to the show in order to understand what's happening. So I'll give you the floor, sir.
Yeah, I mean, I
It's crazy.
I seriously think it paints a picture on where we are now with technology, social media.
Yeah.
It's almost invaded our watching patterns. If you think about Netflix or any other company that's doing this dumbed down strategy, it's unfortunate because it's signifying, I mean, Netflix is a business, so it's literally signifying that they are meeting the audience where the audience is. The audience is showing them. When you watch our shows, I don't know where they're getting this data from,
Right,
but
yeah.
when you're watching our shows, you're on your phone
Yeah.
as well.
Right.
And I don't know if they just say, well, I don't know how they're getting this data, but it seems as if they're like, well, we're going to have to do these shows where we get the eyeballs or at least get the ear and still
Right. We don't
still allow you to just continue to like pay attention somewhere else. It doesn't make it really doesn't make sense. It just shows where we are as a society. Like I feel like the way we get information now is fractured.
It's where we at. What's the term? Microwave society, right? Like we want it fast, and we don't really want a lot of. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to prep the food and preheat the oven and cook. We don't want to let the pots boil on the stove top. We don't want to do none of that. Just throw it in there for 30.
Right.
Saying and give it to you that way.
Yeah, and as she was saying, like they are making an effort to make dialogue simple. And how is that going to serve us? How do we get smarter? How do we get smarter as a country or as a world if things are just basic?
Yeah. Well, we're already in that. Like this whole movie and TV thing is actually late to the party. There's been a dumbing down of society going on for a long time. I mean, the whole advent of the number system and the like combo meal kind of deal at fast food restaurants was a direct result of like that kind of stuff. Like not having to. They wanted it to be easy as possible, and you had to do a whole lot of reading. Just give me a number. Give me the number 2.
Right.
Give me the
but
number
that's food.
5. But it doesn't matter. It's
Doesn't
just
matter.
in society in general. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Like all of that. Like all of this stuff. Like even now, I've noticed, in the last, decade or so, whenever, let's say for instance you buy a piece of furniture and it requires assembly, there ain't no words in there no more. Just pictures.
Right.
On okay, this board A goes into this section, and
right?
A, B, and it's numbered. No instructions as far as readable and straight. No words on how to do anything. So everything is like this is a society that wants to remove the need to have to think a lot. And if you're illiterate, you can still function out here. You know what I'm saying? There's no need for you to read if you know what I'm saying, if you don't want to. And so that is problematic. And so now they want us to use as little brain power as possible.
That would be tough for a writer. Like imagine Warner Brothers are going to James Gunn and says, hey, can you dumb down Superman or can you dumb down Peacemaker? Let me give one example. There was an article in PC Mag where they talk about this phenomenon and basically what Netflix did. And this is an example from, there was a film in 2014. It was a Lindsay Lohan movie called Irish Wish. And basically Lindsay Lohan tells her love interest in the movie, we spent the day together. And I admit it was a beautiful day with dramatic vistas and romantic rain, but that doesn't give you the right to question my life choices. Tomorrow, I'm marrying Paul Kennedy. So literally, she's reciting the plot.
Yeah, that's bad, bro.
It's really bad. This is dialogue.
Terrible. That is 8-year-old mess.
Right.
And I'm insulting 8-year-olds everywhere when I say that. Like, that's bad, bro. That's terrible.
Yes.
It's like right on the nose. Like that
Message, basically.
Now, here's the thing. There have been people in the past that have been writing like that for a long time because they can't write, in my opinion. But now there's a place for them, apparently. So, but these, I can't imagine. And what the more thoughtful writers of the world had, they're not gonna conform to this. So where does that leave you as a writer, right? Where does it leave you as someone who has a style and is a master of weaving an intricate plot and is an excellent storyteller through dialogue? And a lot of times, the dialogue is more what's not said than what is. You see what I'm saying? Because they're actors, right? So in many instances, the actor does not speak, but can convey a thought or a feeling
Through facial expressions
or body,
mannerisms.
yes, body language. That's gone, right? Like, so you're asking actors to not act because too much of what I have seen.
Well, they're acting. Nobody is looking at
But
it.
that's what I'm saying. They don't have time for you to do that now. Like, so
That's right.
What are you going to write that out when you need to convey a look, a feeling of anxiety, a feeling of anger, a feeling of sadness, or whatever it is you're trying to convey without speaking? Sometimes silence hits harder than any words.
Correct.
And those are the really, really good movies when you feeling a thing and they've not said a word. So where are we going when that is necessary? And I got to literally tell you how I'm feeling. Like there is that's frowned upon in writing circles, in books even. They don't even want you to over explain in a book. They want you to maybe articulate where they are and paint a picture and then let the reader draw a conclusion as to how that person feels. But they don't want you to say it. That's taboo in writing, in novel writing.
Right.
So, but I guess you can't be on your phone and read at the same time because, reading requires, effort.
Right.
But you see what I'm saying with that though, man? Like, how's that gonna affect those actors that are really good at that kind of thing?
Well, back to your comment about the writers not conforming to that, it's tough because if you're a writer attached to a show and that show gets pitched to Netflix, I mean, I hate that Netflix is a punching bag on this, but this is the example.
Right.
And there's other streamers that are doing the same thing. Those writers are probably going to conform to some degree because Netflix is funding their show. And I don't know how they can fight against that. I think they should. I think there should be advocates for this, like, let's not do this. But hearing this is pretty bad. And then when you're talking about the reading, like I looked up the literacy rate, and basically, this is what I found on the net. So the literacy rate in the United States is around 79% for adults, meaning 4 out of 5 adults can perform basic reading tasks, according to recent data from the National Center of Education Statistics. But it says, however, a significant portion of the population, approximately 21%, or about 43 million adults, have low literacy skills, which can make it difficult to complete everyday tasks.
How many? Say that again?
Approximately 21%, or about 43 million adults.
So is it 24% of those 78 or so that are functionally literate, or this is separate from them? You understand what I'm saying?
So 79% of adults, that means 4 out of 5 adults can perform basic reading tasks.
Okay, that's just basic reading.
Like,
Gotcha.
hey, you can read a book.
You can read you can read. You may not be able to comprehend, but you know what the words say. Got it.
But it's saying a significant portion of our population, approximately 21% of our population, which is about 43 million adults. Imagine 43 million adults in our country have low literacy skills, which can make it difficult to complete everyday tasks. So anything that requires like reading instructions on putting something together or
Voting.
I'm
sorry.
Yeah, well, or reading reading, reading info on the candidate or whatever. If we're going to stay there. Another way to look at this is about 54% of adults in this country. Again,
54.
54,
Over half.
over half
Okay.
of the adults in this country read below a 6th grade level.
Man, get out of here, dude.
So now,
Wait a minute.
Yes.
Like, wait a minute.
54.
More than half of us can't read past 6th grade, bro.
let it sink in for a minute. Now,
Where
when you
are
get
these
back,
people? Because my entire home can read better than that, and there's 4 of us there. That's crazy. Like when you live in a bubble where you're surrounded by people who are learned, that's mind-boggling to me. Like I don't understand that. Continue.
now you factor this in, and it starts to make sense. We're not reading anymore, and I'm guilty of it.
But you can.
I can read, yes, I can read,
And at a better than the 6th grade level.
absolutely. But am I like I'll be honest with you. When I read this, I started questioning like my viewing habits and what I'm doing, like turning it on myself. Like,
Yeah, but no, I don't
I'm
think you
past the
should,
6th
though.
grade
Like,
level for sure.
Yeah,
but
but that doesn't have anything to do with what we're talking about here. They're catering to these people of which you do not belong. You understand what I'm saying? So you really there should be no question for you.
But to dumb it down, I'm taking the dumbing down into aspects, right? One, yes, I agree with you. I don't fit into that category, but I look at my patterns, my viewing patterns, and go, oh, because I have, and this might not be the same case, but I would have Netflix on and have my laptop, and
But
I'm
see-
working on
but-
stuff,
but see, that would-
or I don't read as many books anymore because I have a phone and there's audiobooks.
Yeah,
and,
but it
but
still
reading
speaks
the
to
active-
ability.
right.
That would suggest that there's a correlation between your inability to read at a 6th grade level and your attention span. Neither of those have anything to do with the other. Like just because you can't just because I could read and comprehend very well, right? Let's say for example,
Yes.
doesn't necessarily mean that I can't have my attention stolen away by a video game or the phone. You know what I mean? I think it's whether or not there's a desire to quote unquote multitask for whatever reason. You can't put your phone down. Like, I don't think it has anything to do with that. Like, and I personally don't think you need to look inward on that, right? Like,
I'm agreeing with you. I think it's all of the above. You are absolutely right. That's the core of what we're talking about today is the multitasking
right,
part
they're
of it.
targeting people who wish to do other things while their show is on.
But that's what I'm saying too. When I look
Because
inward,
it's a stream regardless, right? Whether you're looking at it or not, right? When they get the data and the stuff is streaming, they don't care whether or not you're looking at it as long as it's streaming, right?
Correct.
Their revenue ain't generated on whether or not it was a great movie. That thing got streamed like crazy. Run it. And if it's on while I'm on the phone, they don't care.
that's the part I'm trying to understand about this is, like you said, if you're just streaming it, they don't care if you're watching something else. But I do think having if somebody walked into a movie, like if you walked into a movie theater and you watched Batman, right? And then you come out of the movie theater and I ask you, hey, what was the plot about? And you can't tell me what the plot is about because your phone started buzzing and something caught your attention.
Right.
I think that's what they're targeting.
Okay. Yeah, and not necessarily because you can't read well. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that one has anything to do with the other. I really don't.
You don't think so?
Nope. But I do. But there is a section of people who, because of the fact that they may or may not read that well, will tend to fall in that category. Is what I'm saying.
Right.
But I'm just trying to make sure that people understand that there's a lot of well-read folk out here that may be compelled to pull their phone out.
Right.
For whatever reason.
Right.
Like
I think the literacy piece, because I feel like there's that movie Idiocracy that keeps getting
that we're living in real time. Yeah.
Yeah, correct. I think this is a part of it. I do think literacy and understanding concepts and things like that. I think it's all I think it's all related. I think it's in our culture to just multitask. I did that with Wakanda Forever. I want to see Wakanda Forever, but I was working.
Right. We've all been there. Yeah, for sure.
I missed details that were important for the whole.
Which is crazy because that would never work before there was a thing called streaming, right? That would never work because you were watching it live, whether it be, you know what I'm saying, unless you old school and was recorded it on the VHS joint. But if you were in the movie theater, man, or you were watching it on HBO at the house, you better pay attention. Right. Right? Like old school, if you missed it, you missed it.
Right.
You know? And see, now we got the luxury of not, you know what I'm saying, of that. And I think that lends a lot to it, too.
Yeah.
Imagine if everybody knew that this week, 7 o'clock Thursday,
right,
this show is running, and you can't rewind it.
Right.
It ain't on demand.
Right.
This is it.
Yeah, I think the passive viewing and knowing that content is there whenever you
you
want
it. You don't care if you It's like, you know,
I'll wash clothes and I'll wash and dry clothes while this is on. Which is fine. I mean, I think that's
cool. But nobody did that back when we were kids, man. You had to watch it real time, man.
Right.
And there was a lot of thoughtful movies back there. I mean, you know what I'm saying? They've been making really deep, intricate, you know, from a plot perspective, movies for a long time. And some stuff you can't give a cursory glance while you're, you know what I'm saying, washing dishes or whatever it is you're doing.
Right.
It don't work that way. But now, like I said, we're given all these luxuries and we can, but Netflix being the, you know, gold standard of providing such content, man, it makes sense that they'd be the first to come up with, you know, or the ones that are mentioned in this, you know, in this phenomenon in particular. So, but Netflix... Going back to what you were saying about the writers ultimately having to conform, there's only really a hand, and this is me kind of playing devil's advocate a little bit. There's only a handful, in my opinion, of those that are out here that are writing that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There are enough writers that will bend to their will for Netflix and other studios to respect the ones that will not or are more adverse to doing so.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't want Alex Garland to dumb anything down. I don't want Lindelof to dumb anything down. I don't want Coogler to dumb anything down. I don't want, you know what I'm saying? I don't want Christopher Nolan to dumb anything down.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and Christopher Nolan, he got on record, I think he was the one that was talking about his trilogy. You know, Batman Since We Geek Coach podcast, his Batman trilogy. He won't do a universe, you know, a movie within a universe because there's just too. He doesn't have the freedom, right? I mean, there was 2 years in between each one of those movies, right? Like, and so when it takes you that long to, you know, come up with a script and shoot, man, he's not gonna be writing any full plot breakdowns in the dialogue, bro. He's not gonna do it.
Yeah, he's not a microwave.
He's not
director.
He's not gonna do it. He's not gonna do it.
Writer or director.
Right.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, this was part of the article. It was saying, like, I've heard enough from showrunners who are given notes from the streamers that this isn't second screen enough. Meaning the viewer's primary screen is their phone and the laptop. So Netflix is running on their phone or the laptop. We don't want anything from your show to distract them from their primary screen if they get distracted.
which is the primary screen? What are they considering to be the primary screen?
Like I said, the phone or the laptop. The phone and the laptop. So it's like,
But primary suggests that one is higher on the totem pole than the other.
yes.
You understand what I'm saying?
Agree. Yeah, so it's either or. It's one. Yeah, so somebody's either watching it on their laptop. Now I'm still
Because I
old
was
school. I'm watching it on the TV.
yeah.
But there's a lot of people that just watch it on their laptop.
Yes.
They don't even have a TV or whatever. They'll just say, well, hey, I got my laptop.
Yeah.
You know, and just watch it from there. And then they have their phone in hand. So I'm assuming it's a laptop because it's probably a bigger screen.
Yeah, but
Kinda.
primary in my mind means the one that's getting the most attention.
Well, that's what I mean. Like the laptop is like if I had to
If
make
my
an assumption.
phone is out and I'm constantly
But
on
see,
the
your phone, you I think that's part of what I'm saying. Like, I think technology has gotten us away from things that would challenge your brain to like take in information more. It's like it's almost like the phone just gives it to you much faster.
Yep.
And it's just microwave and it doesn't really
Yep.
it's just like fast food. Like
Yeah.
it goes in, it goes it's like, it's like pretty much. But yeah. So I'm assuming if you're looking at it on your laptop and you're texting on your phone, either way, if you get distracted by one of them, they want to make sure that you're still getting the plot of the show.
So I'm understanding that. Are we understanding that dumbing down means, like you just mentioned, simplifying the plot?
Right.
Obviously, third grade dialogue.
Right.
What?
Don't force me to think.
Correct.
While I'm viewing
what
your-
else though? Is there anything else, or is it just those two? Those seem to be the two most prevalent elements. Right.
Right.
Dialogue, plot. Right.
Right.
Like there's not much else that I could think of that you. I mean, what else can you do? I mean,
It's also scary.
That alone is enough. It's terrible.
Yes, and I think what's scary is with the rise of AI. I mean, they could easily just say, let's feed the script to AI and just simplify it.
And that's easy to do.
Right.
You can run any text and ask the language model it'll edit it for you, and it'll say
And I wonder if the prompt
this.
is simplify this
Simplify
so a sixth
this.
grader can understand.
Sixth grade, because you say that because of the line there, right? The 54%.
Right.
So, yeah.
So I think it begs a question like, Netflix goal is to get as many eyeballs and ears to their content, right?
Yeah. Seems like ears is more important. They might as well just do podcast episodes, audio movies.
And I think that's one of the reasons why I stated the literacy rate, because I think and I agree with you. There's not a 1-to-1 connection.
No, but they're trying to see who are these people comprising the target audience they're trying to reach. I don't know what other variables you could use.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I guess that's the only thing you could feasibly use to try to determine who to target.
And this literacy rate that I pulled,
But it's
might
hit or
be
miss for sure.
Yeah, it might be. It definitely might be misleading. Like, I agree with you on that part, because there's a lot of well-read people that view
Got
content.
ADHD.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I got, and a lot of times a well-read person got a lot going on. They're busy, but they still want to watch this show.
Right.
So they'll do what they're doing.
Right.
Taxes, working, whatever they're doing, because they, They out here doing stuff,
Right.
you know?
And I think why I looked inward was because I've been guilty of the same thing.
We all have.
And then
though.
also too, like, I'll be honest with you, like, I think during this time of misinformation and just stuff just coming at you, like you got news clips coming at you every 5 seconds, I'm learning to go, am I reacting to this piece of information affecting my mental health? Or am I rushing through just because they put a full season of whatever show on the streamers? Why do I have to rush to binge all of it at one time? Or like I'm thinking about all those things to really appreciate, I guess, so I can have a fuller experience appreciating the content. You get what I'm saying? Because I think sometimes we've all been trained as a society to have this pace that's fast, and you better get on board or you're gonna be left behind. So it's like, I gotta binge all this stuff because they're gonna spoil it on the net literally in an hour. You know, or you know what I'm saying?
That said, I asked a simple question.
Yes.
You're concerned about that in particular.
Uh-huh.
Why can't you just put the phone down long enough and just focus? I think that's the thing. And I'm oversimplifying it, obviously.
No, and you're getting to the point.
Just put it down.
Right.
Because humans will prioritize what's important to them. You're not, if you and your wife are going out, anniversary dinner, whatever it is you're doing, date night, whatever you're doing,
Right.
I dare you to have your phone out as much as you have it out watching, you know, whatever it is you're watching. Netflix, on Netflix. You see what I'm saying?
Well, that's wild, but
but you know what I'm saying? Don't have your phone because she is the priority is what I'm saying.
yes.
You understand what I'm saying? And you understand that.
Right.
So how important is this show to you? I mean, now, obviously,
That's what I'm saying. That's
one
wild.
pales in comparison
Right.
to the other. But
Texting,
but
like if you're texting while you're on the
but out constantly. This is not me like comparing the level of importance between your wife and the Netflix show. This is not me. This is me saying humans prioritize what's important.
I agree, but
they'll put the phones away when they feel like this is worthy of me putting it away. So now the question is this chicken and chicken and the egg kind of situation? Is it the show is just so boring or so uninteresting and not worthy of my undivided attention that I pull the phone out? Or is it just that which is causing one? Like if I grab you early in the show and it's compelling, will you still pull your phone out? Will you then prioritize the show over whatever it is you're doing because of the quality of it? Like, why don't we approach it that way? Why don't we, I mean, are studios such as Netflix so unconfident that their viewer base will do that if they get quality content?
correct. That's
Now-
what I'm saying. So that's what I'm getting at. Our behavior is dictating what they should do as a business.
Right. And so they
As a business, they just want to get as many eyeballs
right.
as possible. If we keep repeating this behavior, you best believe that your shows are going to get dumbed down.
Right.
If we're not careful.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
And it's harder to get quality stuff out in large quantities like that. It's easier to churn out a bunch
Right.
of trash. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But like when you're sitting in the comfort of your home and you say, "Hey, I want to watch a movie," I would bet, like if you had a cross section of the family and said like your kids are like teenage age, they got their phones while the movie's going on. So there's that. I know I've been guilty of it at the same time. Like, for example, if I'm watching a kid's movie, I'll just go, well, hey, this doesn't really interest me, but I'll have my phone here. If Wally sends me a text or something funny, I'm going to reply back, while the movie's going on.
Right. Yeah, but we ain't talking about that, right? We talking about this constant multitasking kind of thing. This constant thing. It's out the whole time. Not just, something that was crazy. And then, because a lot of times when that happens, I'll pause it and send the text. I don't want to miss what's going on.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So yeah, if I'm texting somebody,
I don't think people
on
are
something
doing that
that's
though.
crazy,
But
that's what I do. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I can't speak for everybody else, but I know that if I have my phone out and I'm texting somebody based on something stupid or awful or amazing that I saw,
right,
I stop it. We've been known, Rose, to stop this and make a phone call, like, bro.
Yes.
Bro, Lindelof cooking right now, bro.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Mid-show, we'll stop it.
Right.
Because we don't want to miss it. So this is not us multitasking. This is us like being blown away. And then once we get off that phone, we're done with it again and restarting.
I think what this topic that we're talking about, there's people that have two things going at the same time.
That's right. That's what ultimately, I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. And basically, these streamers are looking at that behavior and going, how can we
make sure they keep it on? Because
how do we ensure that our streaming numbers don't go down? Because
you're saying if they're disinterested, they'll turn the show off, and
that's one scenario.
Because that's the only thing I think logically they'd be worried about.
Right.
By that.
Right.
Because I don't know that they care that you understand what's going on. As long as you don't stop streaming, whatever we got to do to make you not turn it off.
Right. That's the other part too that's probably happening in the algorithm. I would assume, and again, like I'm trying to figure out how Netflix gets this data, because
there's no way they can tell that people are looking at their phone.
Right.
Right. Like there's no way. Come on, man. There's no.
I don't know. I don't know these days. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, I don't know these days because they're getting the data somehow. How are they saying we got to do this?
Well, a lot of that can be random surveys that come out, right? Like, they'll poll,
right,
subscribers and stuff like that. I'm sure stuff like that goes out. Like, they might be having focus groups and stuff like that, or they'll like you could do, like, for example, a focus group, and then you allow a bunch of people to come in and watch this show or whatever. And then you just, you let them have their phone and do whatever they do.
Right.
You know what I mean? And watch them and watch their behavior. Even if not even necessarily if they do it in a large, like, theater kind of setting, you could bring a few people in to watch, a little movie. Right. And they could frame it as, as they're trying to see whether or not you like the content, so they can determine whether or not it's a show that they want to run, when really they're probably they're looking at your behavior. Not necessarily whether, they'll frame it that way, right? Like a psychological test, right, in a lab. They'll bring people in, okay, watch this show. Mm-hmm. And then let them have access to, all the stuff, the phone and all that, and then watch them.
Right.
Not necessarily because Netflix is trying to see if you like the show, but they're trying to see, like you said, behavior. That's more important than anything right now, right?
Right.
Like, they want to see your behavior. And if they notice that 4 out of the 5 people that got their phone out, they thinking, I mean, that's one way to capture the data. That's the only way to really catch human behavior.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing that...
Because it's psychological at the end of the day.
Yeah, and I think that's one thing that the article and what I'm hearing doesn't... I won't say it doesn't track, because they obviously know something. I'm just trying to figure out how they're receiving that metric. Mm-hmm.
I'd be willing to bet it's something along those lines, and they tell them, say, we'll let you watch this show before it come out or whatever, or whatever. And then I mean,
because my thing is, and I think this is what I was saying, I have a lot of friends that go, I'm watching a movie, and if the movie's not interesting to me, I'm going to pull my phone out.
Yeah.
Which my answer would be, just stop watching it.
So they take the phone out, but they let it keep running? Is that what you're saying? Yeah. See, yeah. And that's all.
So why are you watching it?
Yeah. It's not that I don't want you to turn it off, because if it was in the theater, you'd leave. If it was that bad, right? Like, I mean, well, you would probably stay because you paid your money. But I don't know. I think different situations, prompt different behavior.
It would make sense to me if the conclusion is, well, maybe the content is not engaging to them for a certain reason. Mm-hmm. Like, for example, you know, I like a bunch of action movies, double gun, whatever, and you might watch it and go, man, this is ridiculous. I ain't watching this. You know, like
Right. Like there's no amount of
so you might you turn it off,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I just I think I'm struggling with it because of hearing this. I'm alarmed because I feel like the content that I'm gonna get is gonna start to get.
Oh, it's gonna be bad. It's been bad. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but like I said at the top of the show, I thought that it was 100% because it was just bad writing, not that they were asking them to do it.
Yes.
You know,
And
I
I
don't
hate
know
to-
how great of a percentage these shows are that they're doing that, but in retrospect, I mean, now I go back and I go back and look at Ironheart, man, and be like, God,
I'll give another example.
No
and I
one can
hate-
write this
and-
bad.
And
Jeez.
I hate to give this example, but I watched this movie Highest to Lowest by Spike Lee. Don't just hear me out here. Hear me out here.
Yeah.
I know how you feel.
No.
Right. Just hear me out here. There's literally a scene where Denzel's son gets kidnapped, right? And usually when you watch a movie and somebody gets kidnapped, the police kind of set up a command center at the house, and you know, if there's ransom involved,
Right.
There's a protocol.
Right.
Literally, the plot points were just fed to me through dialogue. I caught myself getting angry. Like, now again, is that Apple TV telling Spike Lee to dumb down that part?
He didn't write it. He didn't write it though, I thought.
Well, it's an adaptation.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So he probably,
yeah.
yes.
Well, he's been doing that long before they've been instructing people. So
Jeez.
I mean,
But you get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
like
he just can't write.
I can point to that scene and go right there.
Yes.
My intelligence is insulted.
For sure.
I know that these cops are here and they want to get the ransom.
Right.
I don't need to hear everything else. Like, I don't.
Good old EMP action.
Right. Oh man. See. If I hear that one more time.
Hear what? Electromagnetic pulse?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Here's my thing, and maybe this is a tie-in to literacy. For me personally, when I read comic books, I mean, I still read comic books, not as much as I did when I was a kid, but that's how I learned vocabulary. That's how I learned certain things.
Same.
That's how I learned
Same.
about
Me too.
science and different subjects in science.
For sure.
And
For sure.
geology and all this stuff, because like a lot of powers are around that, which forced me to go, I read this story. I don't understand that. Let me find it out. Let me go to the library, find it out. Because back then we didn't have a computer.
Baby.
Leave the content alone. Let the writers write. Let the creators create. Let the audience interpret however they need to interpret it. If it's something you don't understand, go look it up. Now, granted, we've had discussions where we talk about movies where it's like, I don't want to do a bunch of homework.
Yeah, that's different though.
Like if I watch
Right.
Tenet, I'm like, I can't get an essay in
It's
astrophysics.
It's possible to try to be as thoughtful as you can and still overdo it. That's for sure. Like let's be clear. Everybody that has these deep plots don't necessarily make it good.
Right.
Right? Like it can still be bad.
Right.
The dialogue wasn't bad though.
Correct.
You know?
Right.
So I mean, if you're dumbing down both, I think that'll be a very telltale sign.
If he starts
If both are present, right? If the
Right.
dialogue is 6th grade level and the plot is explained to you, plot points and stuff like that, like whatever is happening in the moment, you should be able to act and see the environment and determine what's happening without someone telling you. If both of those things are happening, then I think that is a red flag for what we're seeing, second screen viewing, writing. I think that'll be how to play it going forward. But there's so many instances of both all the time, even before this was a phenomenon. You know what I mean?
But let's keep it real. In keep it in the realm of geek culture, the plots are simple.
Yeah.
You read a comic book, the plots are
Yeah,
simple,
there ain't a lot to it.
which we love.
Right. And sometimes simple
But
plots are good.
Simple
That's
plots are
fine.
good, and you can have themes within it.
Yeah.
And I don't want to derail from the
because
second
there's
screen.
different side stories and side plots and stuff like that.
Right.
But with that dialogue is bad.
Right. And I think for me, when I saw this, it sparked all of that for me. Like how we're not engaging with the content in a way where we're not really taking in the information, analyzing it, seeing what's factual, or seeing what made you engaged in the content in the first place. I think when I hear about a streamer taking that initiative, I understand what they're doing from a business perspective, but on being a consumer of it, I think it's gonna do us harm. I actually think it's harmful, to be honest with you. Like, I think if my kids are watching content, whether it's simple as watching a cartoon, I do think they need to be challenged in a way where they ask questions.
Man, even
I
our
don't
music
like-
is like that, though. man.
Exactly.
Like, it's round the nose, man. Very few clever artists, I'm talking hip hop and stuff.
Right.
These rhyme, these bars are real,
Simplistic.
yeah, man.
Right.
Which in my mind is unacceptable. It shouldn't be as simplistic as 80s rap, bro. You understand what I'm saying? Because, you figure around the 70s and the 80s, it was in its infancy, and obviously lyrical structure and
Right.
arrangement was very, very basic. But we've evolved, and if you still sound like that, man, that's a problem. That's a problem. There should be.
Do you think it's intentional?
Oh yeah,
Do you think the music industry just
For sure.
demands
for sure,
simplistic?
for sure. Because we don't need. We just trying to sell.
Right.
And I don't need anybody on I don't understand what they're talking about, and your record don't sell. Or in particular, I don't like the message either.
Correct.
Because a lot of times when it's thoughtful like that, it's not a message that they want out.
That is interesting.
If it's well written.
I really like Kendrick because he could be talking about one thing, but it's actually a metaphor for something else.
Correct. You're not getting that from Sexy Red and Boss Man D-Lo.
Right.
You're getting none.
Like, for example, again, sounds like we're derailing, but it just trying,
It's a societal picture.
like these walls, right? He's talking about a relationship, intimate relationship, but he's also talking about the prison complex as well, which is crazy. Like, it's like, wow. Like to be able to dig deep and find those
Kick
things.
Push was like that, man.
Right.
Same
Right.
thing, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I think you're talking about skateboarding, and he is, but he ain't. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? So.
Right. So,
of
yeah, I think there's a lot of danger in even hearing that the streamers are
Lupe,
even.
not Kendrick, for those who didn't know, Lupe Fiasco. Sorry, I didn't want people to think that I jumped into another song after you
Yeah,
had
yeah,
mentioned
no,
Kendrick.
you're
That was Lupe Fiasco. Go ahead.
Yeah, but I think this, I find this alarming. I think when you and I discovered this, we were like, we really got to talk about it.
Yeah, it was disturbing, man.
So to provide solutions, like, how would we go about having a deeper viewing experience? I mean, I think you mentioned some of it, like if you're gonna say, I'm just making this up, say the second season devs got announced and it's out, like how would you watch that thing?
Oh, I'm not putting the phone out on devs.
Would you turn your phone off, or you just like
No,
just
I mean,
put
it's
it to
not
the
off
side?
it because, I got kids and stuff like that.
Right.
Don't tell them when, somebody might need me. But,
Right, exactly.
I'm not holding it and shopping or, scrolling to Instagram, TikTok, and anything like that. Not during that.
Right.
You know
So
what I'm
step
saying?
one, just enjoy the content.
Yeah, if it's something that you really like, man. Like if you like Star Wars, even though right now it's kind of trash, you know, you might
slid that
like
in there.
You might like Grogu. You know what I'm saying? Well, sit down and watch Grogu then.
Right.
You know, and hope they fight soon, because that's really all they trying to do these days. Fight. We don't care about the story. We don't fight though.
Sliding that in.
I'm sliding in. I'm sorry, but pause.
Wow.
Sorry.
Yeah. I just
That one was for the homies.
right.
We
Right.
had a long conversation about
This is
pausing.
culturally inappropriate.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if it's something that man, just put it down. Like, and then if you feel like if it's becoming disinteresting, right? Like to your point, just turn it off. If it's bad,
Right. I have
can't
walked
tell-
out
I
of a
can't
movie.
tell you how many times I've turned stuff off on whatever streaming stuff. I'm like, no. And it may have been a series that I had to finish or whatever for the sake of the podcast. So I just, at the end of the moment, I'll turn it off
Right.
and just give myself a break.
And not to keep on the steps, but that
Okay.
was the other that
That's-
was the other thing that we didn't. I feel like maybe we didn't talk about exactly. And this is just a quick question: do you feel like because everything is packaged, like here's the 8 episodes, but do you feel like, well, yeah, I can pull my phone out, and if I miss something, I might go back to it if I decide to go back to it. You know what I'm saying? They might have missed a whole plot point
This
based on
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
This is what I think Netflix should do. I think that for any new show, because they have delved into the realm of live broadcasting,
Right.
be it the wrestling, be it these crazy boxing events, even the NFL,
And they're pulling metrics
even the
as
NFL, correct,
as they speak
So
on the
when
live.
when you launch a show, however many episodes it is, that first one needs to be live. And without you being able to scrub or anything like that or rewind.
I see.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So that they can see, okay, can we capture this audience with compelling content?
That would be the test.
Yes. Just episode 1. And pull data from that. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And then,
Because with our society, you only got one shot.
That's what I'm
And
saying.
You don't even have. You might not even have 30 seconds.
Right. So if you know this show that it may or may not be highly anticipated is launching on Friday, 8:00, better be there. And because we're not going to offer it until like the next week when the next one comes out, right? Like, so say it's every Friday. You launch the first one live on the first Friday. But it won't be available to watch again until next Friday when episode, you know what I'm saying? Netflix, they drop all of it. don't
Yeah,
they?
that's what
They
I'm saying.
drop all
Yeah,
of it.
that
That
flies in the face.
Yeah.
that flies in the face
That'll
of
work for
binging.
Disney, but it
Right.
won't work for them. Yeah. Well, how about you don't make those others available until you've watched it all the way through. You see what I'm saying?
Maybe. But somebody can still pull their phone out and just let it cook.
That's true, but it won't help you. And you know what I'm saying? You willing to,
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you wouldn't, you can do that, but now you don't know what's going on. You have to watch it if you want to be able to understand. That's what you make the writers do.
Right.
You make the writers say, you need to establish something here to where if they want to understand what's happening in the subsequent episodes, they need to have gone back here.
It's
It's easier than telling them to write stuff that's stupid.
Right.
Like, I mean, this is
agree.
just me coming up with
Yeah.
alternatives than catering to dummies. Like,
Or
I
just-
hate to
or
say
just-
it that way, but dog, oh man, like, I don't care that you don't, man, come on, man.
Right.
I want good content, bro.
Right.
I don't want dumbed down stuff because you insult my intelligence.
Right. Well, yeah. And even that I'm struggling with too, because it's like, okay, if the writers want, like, for example, I haven't seen Weapons, right? But I hear the structure of Weapons is unique, where he feeds you random details and then you might not get a resolve till the end. And I think all of those play into that till when you get to the end, it's like, oh, snap. But that was mentioned in the first act.
They see,
like it was broken up in acts.
that is unacceptable according to second screen viewing logic.
With that being said,
Unacceptable.
Yeah. So with that being said, I don't want that to change. I want if a writer has a great idea, I want them to cook. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
And that can't be done. That vision can't be achieved with this
Right.
methodology.
Yeah.
It cannot be.
Yeah. Yes, it's a lot to get
You
amped up about, but
Pulp Fiction,
right.
there's no way.
Exactly. So I guess getting back to steps and we can wrap it up, but so you basically say put the phone away.
Yeah, man. If you really like it like that, if it's something that you don't really care about, then why are you even bothering?
Right.
Like, I don't understand you just watching something, you know what I'm saying?
But I think that's what I'm trying, like when we were talking about this earlier, I think all of us have been trained to have all of these devices, laptop, phone, TV, iPad, like, you know what I'm saying? Like everything is competing for our attention. And it's like, we as consumers need to go, and that's probably one of the steps. Just break it down to one, almost make it like an event. Like, hey, I'm going to watch this show and I'm going to dedicate this time to watch the show. Even if it's an hour, even if it's 30 minutes, even if you can't even finish the show, just say, hey, I'm going to watch 30 minutes of this show. Heck, I have to do that with video games sometimes. I'm like, I can only devote 30 minutes.
Yeah, entertainers have been doing it for a minute now.
Right.
You go into the venue where they're performing, you're locking your phone up. A lot, like comedians in particular, a lot of them.
Well, they do that so you don't steal their content.
Yeah, but that is still preventing you from paying attention to anything else, right? This is them. Yeah, I get it.
Yes.
But there's a secondary,
Well, that was just that was
secondary
a
result,
byproduct of that.
Right.
Yes.
But it essentially removes that as well, right? Like, if you, for whatever reason,
Right.
in a concert,
Right.
hard to do in a larger venue, obviously, but
Yeah. So, I mean, not a lot of steps because it's pretty basic, but
yeah.
I think ultimately, I know for me and why I was looking inward, I have recognized as of late where the doom scrolling is part of the algorithm and you just fall into it. Because you're looking for stuff fun, like, for example, like if you're on Instagram or whatever and you're looking for something funny, it becomes a thing.
Yeah.
So, like, if you have your phone at your hip when you're trying to watch a piece of content and you're doing the same thing, it's like
it's hard
your attention is going to shift.
Yep.
Yeah,
I agree.
So
with that.
I think
we've all been there.
Yeah, and
We've been.
I love our audience. I just want I want everybody to have just good mental health. And I know I've been paying attention a lot lately to my own mental health and what are things that are triggering or what are the things that make you feel bring your emotions down and stuff like that. And heck, the content that you're watching that you decide to watch, it's going to evoke some kind of emotion from you. Like there's some content that's sad or even, even in the geek culture stuff, there might be a moment where it's like, oh man, this is affecting me in a different way, and feel that, you know what I'm saying? And investigate that. But when you have multiple screens, it's like, you're not going to appreciate what the creator made for that. So that's it, man.
Yeah.
I think it's troubling. That's all.
It is. The fact that this is a methodology now is bothersome, man. I don't know that I would have expected that.
And this is what Idiocracy does. It looks 500 years into the future, and it's like, well, what does that look like?
Correct.
When everything is baby talk, and I don't want things to get converted to gaga goo goo,
No words, just Neanderthal,
Right.
going backwards.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't like it. Give us your thoughts. You know mine. I was like, man, I don't want to see more just fighting for fighting's sake and action's sake and stupid dialogue. I can't stand children's level dialogue, man. That nothing angers me more than that, man. That makes me mad. Like, I'm a grown person.
well, I mean, even in geek culture, just to challenge
Well, I
you.
understand that. I know that children are watching, but even my son knows better,
Right.
Because come on, man, we gotta stop insulting the children as well.
Correct.
Like,
They're a lot smarter than we are.
Like, come on, man, these kids are sharp.
Right.
Come on, man, come on.
Yeah. That's
All
why
I
we're the
got to
old
say,
guard.
The old guard. Get off my lawn.
We preserve the sanctity of geek culture.
Yeah. Preserving it. He's getting away from us, man. It's like he's not doing a good job. Let us know how you feel, man. We appreciate y'all as always. Until next time, man, we will holler at y'all.